At the bar Anopa Mkobo dwumadie so yɛbɛda Nana Kwame as I say or the sports segment no ɛbrɛ yɛ yeah wotum sɛ sports papa ana Nana Kwame ɛde bɛso more they say no you do discussion segment no now discussion segment no and you're looking into the three policies we're looking into the policies from the three parties so far MPP and the omo policies aba NDC so the omo policies aba and the new force movement led by Nana Bediakon so the policies aba. Yes, so we are going to look through the three policies. You may who say a him fan and kebu ha so far and ye who know and can say what you say and now what massage and a kakra now. Yes, and never come once our hand now. Before I will introduce the guest speaker for today, I would like to acknowledge our sponsors and make I say McJaden International School, yeah, or more crèche, kindergarten, primary, JHS, yeah, McJaden International School, school papa na open be at McJaden International School wa, ewo Kwafu Chrome Suhum Road, yeah, and some Suhum Road, Kwafu Chrome. And you can contact my Jane on 059-2500-593. 059-2500-593. And so on, so almost our McJady natural mineral water in Supapapa, McJady natural mineral water. Before that, I would like to wish a friend, yes, a happy, glorious birthday. Happy, glorious birthday to Kobe. He is a fashion designer at Teacher Mante. A happy birthday to you. My prayer is that may the amazing God make you great. You will become a great person as you mostly socialize with people, with the youth. I just like that. Yeah, so may you be someone who will be great. And Charlie, big ups to you, bro. That's it for the birthday wish for Kobe. Now, if you want to also wish your loved ones, you can contact Fly TVGH on 059 723 9862. 059 723 9862. You may move it to discussion segment, Now, discussion segment, Yane Abrantier Onmunyam for Mr. Ransford Dogbe. He is a political enthusiast. Yes, he's a political enthusiast. Mr. Ransford Dogbe. Yeah, as our technician is connecting Maxwell on the line, I would like to remind you that today the discussion is going to be about the three parties so far that has brought out their manifesto. Yeah, the three parties so far they've brought their manifesto, so we'll be looking into that aspect. Sir Maxwell, our Hamana na Metwa Komaso ho na mebisa de ani ho tie na say ye den komono ahyehyefo. Hi Maxwell. Fly FMGH. Yeah, we will get back to Masodobe. Then I'm reminding you that if you are if you want to wish a loved one a happy glorious birthday, or you have any wish for someone or any shout out, you have to contact Fly TVGH on 059 723 9862. 059 723 9862. And then what the newspaper review yeah, the newspaper review abremo dada and I feel yeah, the sports segment abremo, and yeah, be movie back to Maxwell na ya say ahamanu mu da ho a na ye ne na atwe nkomo afa political parties NPP, NDC and the new force movement policies na what they aba no na yahwɛ sɛ nneɛma bɛn na ɛtɔ sin wɔ ho anka yɛbɛtumi ayɛ ne yie. Hello Mr. Maxwell. Sorry Mr. Ransford, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay. Mama Wakwaba at about Fly TVGH so na the political parties now model manifesto about so far no and then I will work kafa ho I said baby wo ho and I said then I will kafa ho general overview of it.
Okay, so mefa akunya ina mada Fly TV as anyway for so nase
Okay.
for giving young ones the opportunity to air our opinions on the governance in this country.
You are listening to
Me
DJ
kakosi
Flay
say
on Fly
political
FMGH.
parties amanyoko a omo pese omo di Ghana enim ewo afi abatoɔ yi mu na mfie nan da enim yi ɔmo ahwɛ na ɔmo akɔrekora Ghana nsɛm ɔno koraa sɛ ɔmo nyinaa de ɔmo adwene mu pɔ ne vision ɔmo wɔ ɛma Ghana for the next 4 years na sɛ ɛmfa mmienu so I think sɛ four parties na release ɔmo manifesto nea odi kan yɛ Alankyerɛ movement for change ɛyɛ ɔmo great transformational plan ana NPP for also the bold solutions for jobs aba and this is why we release two manifestos resetting Ghana any the pledge youth manifesto and finally Nana Kwame Bedi Akun or the new
Fly
force winning so
FMGH.
ni 12 pillars nso aba na nokwa ni nyame nim wohwɛ mu a asɛnsɛm ɛwɔ mu deɛ ɛtɔ asom na obi bɛka sɛ kan deɛ ɛbɛka nso ne yɛ no ɛne asɛm no. The policies have been well articulated, but to implement it is another issue. And, I think so far, me go through no, they've stated solutions are, if it is really implemented, I think moving ahead never boa na my country na ko enim se nepe.
Yeah, okay. So picking the NDC manifesto now, what they buy, they spoke of OSHA NDC focus on educational aspects, and I say OSHA they have any agenda for education, and OSHA more focus on educational aspect because in him say NPP they free SHS no policy abadada and my implement edu certain point na say yetimi to aba na yemfa ne say NDC ba OSHA sa free SHS policy no ebe affect NDC governance be ebema enya any effect of free SHS policy no so and I say OSHA is going to be as smooth as it is.
Okay, but that's it. It is American NDC manifesto on their education aspect now.
Yeah.
I think first of all, the record has been set straight. Free education, free SHS. No, it was started by the NDC government when they called it progressively free, somewhere 2015. Almost as day students, piloting, and then I think somewhere 2016, and they started shifting it to the boarding schools until they were taking off. But of course, if you want to give credit, you would call NDC, but you would largely give it to MPP because Omon even though our constitution but Omon champion and making sure that they will implement free senior high school for all across board. And then of course there has been challenges, there has been issues, but largely we can credit it to them. Say Omon buy. Now share NDC manifesto now what they want to do in the education sector. Rather than almost said they would better the free senior high school rather than terminate it or cause harm to it. Because Oma people see BBT say they are going to improve free SHS. They say Omube making sure say Omube resource in the year. Now say Oma manage na say there problems are facing in some enquiry or implementation in mono. Oma hwe no ma CC ni na NDC for any so ade hu so say Omube expand the free SHS no from public senior high schools to cover even private senior high schools.
Yeah.
Into Osha, it is rather aiming at improving rather than affecting it, moving it from the public schools to cover even senior high schools, which is private. And then also, almost access almost see e-blocks now, you know. Your money are doing so, to us, no way we do not can now. So the schools can accommodate more to ensure that we have better second cycle education. So I don't think their manifesto seeks to affect the free senior high school, but rather it seeks to improve it, and then even to the tertiary levels as well.
Okay. So, if I'm getting what you're saying, then with the NDC's manifesto, then it's not going to affect the free SHS, but
No,
it's
no, no. It
intended
rather
to.
wants to even expand it,
Okay.
improve and expand. Yeah.
Okay. But NDC so our manifesto or the Bible saying recently, Utimu said they are kind of also doing a form of free schooling, as in a way of making tertiary free for those with disabilities and also first year students. Yeah. So don't you think it's also going to have some effect on the nation, because as we are facing some crisis due to the free SHS policy?
Okay, so on that, like I said, what's the problem they are created that
Yeah.
the implementation of free SHS no, was the start of the problem. That there was no proper policy document and a guide free SHS no. It was campaign promise and it has to be delivered anyway, anyhow. Into sure, it is one of the reasons why our economy is where it is, because so much money has been plunged into that place without any proper policy initiative. But oh, share problem as I creating say a lot of people have gone to the SHS because of free SHS.
Okay.
After the maybe school, mama betting if you look at the statistical service, about 14% of unemployment, most of the youth at IFE, do now from SHS. So what is the reason? It means they are not getting access to the tertiary education anymore. Anything like NDC4, FP say, and I asem na. Let's just give them the opportunity to also enter the tertiary institution, because nowadays even first degree crown, what do you pay Juma and Edim? Talk of SHS certificate. So how do we do that? Let's help them. More and more no mun share. Into almost share in their first years, no, they will go free. Then there is a reinforcement of a student loan scheme. No,
Yeah.
so na be ya woko wenim no ubetimi age student loan na wo di ato aso. No kwani ya minim SHS university there. Se obomode na wo share na sɛ womia w'ani a wobɛtumi awie na nea wode bɛhyɛ ase dodoɔ no na ɛyɛ asɛm no nti na ɔse den yɛboa mo na moahyɛ aseɛ first year na motoa so no moagye student loan na mode awie na mowie na moyɛ adwuma a na moatua wo nkakra na another issue so yɛ accommodation nti ɔse yɛde den bed for all bɛba ɔmo bɛ contacte private institutions na adeɛ na ɔmo sisi hostels ne adeɛ ama ɔmo sɛne ɛbɛyɛ a ɛnyɛ school ni nko a na wokɔ nso ade so aba akɔ akɔyɛ baby I will bet Danny at the end or some best of Yamom. So I think largely no, it is positive. We share their ideas on implementing some of these things now. Ever born mine, but some make one thing say over canoe, another thing to say over be this no way.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Anyhow, ever could be an so moving you, or money nine ideas or more education here. You ever more than say or mobile money no more implement it now, Boagana.
Okay. Away from the education aspect of the policies, yeah, today we are focusing on the three heated political parties so far. That's the NPP, NDC, and the New Force, yes, movement. Now let's move to their governance. Yes, their governance, how they are going to rule the country. Yeah.
Download Fly
You'll see that
GH application and
NDC,
enjoy good
if I'm not
music.
mistaken, NDC says he will be appointing 60 ministers, right?
Yeah, 60.
Yes, and now the new force is saying under him it will be 12 ministries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
12 ministers, yes.
Yes. So I want to understand if those two gaps, 60 and 12, is it going to have any effect on the country?
So, first of all, I think one thing we should realize is that all these political parties are realizing a particular problem affecting this nation. First of all, they've all cited same problems and then same gaps, and then one of which has to do with the, should I say, overbloating or the large size of government, where you have so many ministers here and there, and they are all being paid with the taxes of the Ghanaians. Various ministries in Omodoso.
Yeah.
Ministers are omudi omuye juma yetu omoka per diem allowances travelers nini na no wohwɛ recent research bi a meyɛ yɛ a na meyɛ ama obi a you realize that sika dodoɔ na kɔ into governance wohwɛ office of the president the budget for I think last year almost 2 billion, so you realize that sika dodoɔ na is going into the government machineries into normal say okay, if that's the case then cut government size.
Okay.
So when this is CEO meba I want to use more than 60 ministers. MPP so say meba mean use more than 50 ministers. Alan Chemato so say meba me use more than 40 ministers. And then recently Chad Associate on so be use 12 ministers. Then now you see, it's not really the large or small size that really matters, but the efficiency of the size.
Okay.
When say omun say bebree na so mo be yi adwuma na abo man na it is perfect. So if they realize say oh yetwetwa so na ye omo kakra na bebo ya fine. But you see where the problem really lies is when these things are set without proper planning. For example, when I look at Nana Kwame Bediako's 12 ministers, and I wonder, how are you going to do this? How are you going to run this? Ordinarily, we have 16 regions. Let's even forget about the various ministries. We have 16 regions. The constitution says that every region must have a regional minister. So already we are hitting 16 ministers already. Now, there are key sectors in the economy that needs certain ministers to head them. We have the agricultural ministry, we have finance, we have how do you call it? Information, communication, some other places. We have health. All of these places, if you look at them and you say you are running a government with only 12 ministers, and I'm wondering, how are you then going to put this them together? How are you then going to go around this? And I see people commenting, oh, there could be a constitutional review. And we know in this country how long it takes. Say, Obi Peso Osisa Amamobi to favor certain policies. Say they are back and forth. Let's be careful. Say, Ono Nanakwame Bediakono is an independent candidate.
Yeah.
And he's not going to have any representatives in parliament. Meaning it is the other political parties. So then, how are you able to convince them to accept your ideas? Say this and this is what you are going to do. So the question is, until you are even able, let's even say you'll be able to succeed. From now to you are able to succeed, whether in 2 years or whatever years, how is the country structure going to look like? Are we going to be there without ministers to head these various key institutions? Because these are institutions already established that are there, most of which have their roots in the Constitution of Ghana. So for that one, I really think it's not really feasible. The idea say use 12 ministers, and I think say nsɛm wɔ ho kakra. Metie, mehyɛ da ho ni manifesto ba metie ne launch no. Na ɛhɔ no deɛ I think nsisi so yie ma me nim adwemmɔpɔ a ɔde kasa. It will be from now going on, say if there's any conversations around it, not some clarify my idea. But to say 12 ministers to rule country of Ghana, I doubt it to be feasible. With the others too, I mean, we've seen them. They've run a huge government with so many ministers and all, and then we see the state we are in now. So can we trust them? A bit like Jomodi said, more yeah, and they could be a good way. More must add than say a baby sui, a bear fan as a fan, and also the idea I say a bit. But I think moving ahead, no, so no more the press engagement now, then I be service and some youth for any be some. The stress on be no saying yes, so be a queen in a bit as in a bit December 7th, no. No be who Gina Biani or person waterman.
Okay. Yeah, that's Ransford one year, but you just mentioned something about Nana Bediako being an independent candidate. And yeah, we have conversation around it. It seems some people are saying that if he is coming as an independent candidate, then it's going to be some sort of autocratic ruling. Do you agree with that?
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, across the world, there are independent candidates who have been in government and then they've ruled. If you say autocratic, what do you mean? If he's autocratic, then why are we even voting for him? This is a democratic dispensation. And then unruly is not going to run just an executive government. parliamentarians so definitely he has no choice than to work with the parliamentarians. Even Emrano Akansi to say
Welcome
you
to
have to
Tuesday morning.
appoint your ministers, some from the parliamentarians.
Okay.
So there is no way he would be an autocratic leader if he wins. He would definitely has to work with parliament and then work with the judiciary. So definitely there will be that balance of power, and then it will be a democratic state. There will be nothing like autocracy here.
Okay, so I think the reason why they are saying that is because of the perception that there are rumors going around that the the current vice president of Ghana, is saying that he is the vice president and doesn't have solely the entire power on certain decisions. So they are like, if the vice president is even saying this, then how sure are they that an independent candidate will be working hand in hand with the appointed ministers also? So that's what is bringing the autocratic form of ruling to them.
You are listening to
Oh,
Fly
I
FM.
don't think it's so. First of all, with the current vice president's comments of him being just a vice president and all, I mean, for him, it has been proven times without number that he has been consistent over and over. Because somebody will ask, so you knew you were just a vice president, and you knew a vice president cannot do much, yet still you held the late
It's Fly
Imisate's
FM.
neck almost all the time, gave him 170 questions and all. So that one is neither here nor there. But the issue of being autocratic, there are institutions in place. We have the parliament, we have the judiciary. All of these ones are checks on the
Keep
government.
locked on.
So there is no way.
On
In fact,
Fly
the only way
FM.
there could be autocracy is when we enter a military regime or we leave the country into a one-man state. And it's not something that will happen. The level of democracy Ghana has gotten to, there is no way any form of autocracy can happen. I mean, he won't even last a year if he decides to do that. It will never happen because there are institutions in place that are serving as checks on the central government. Nti megye say ɛnyɛ ade a ɔba bɛyɛ autocratic leader because ɛyɛ ne den a ɔno nkwa ntumi nyɛ adwuma no. He would need the parliamentarians to work. He would need the civil societies to work. He would need the judiciary to work with. So there will be checks and balances if he emerges as the president.
Okay. The three heated political parties so far, that's the NPP, NDC, and the New Force. The New Force is actually focusing on they are focusing on industrialization because yesterday the leader for the New Force was like, no industrialization, no 24-hour economy. Yes, so he is focusing on industrialization, giving the communities of Ghana more industries so that, yes, basically industrialization. Now, Mahama is the flag bearer for the NDC, is also focusing on resetting Ghana. That means it's going to start certain things, yes. And Baumia is focusing on upgrading. These three people, what do you think about their manifesto so far? As in, what they are focusing on. Do you think they should have done something better, or they could actually add something to it?
Okay, so I would say that, like before, I think you kept mentioning there are three main political parties or heated ones, and I think movement for change or Alan Chamate's movement for change is also one to reckon with.
Yeah, it seems.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
it seems we did that discussion later, so now we are focusing on the three.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So
that's
yes,
why. Yeah.
all right, very well. Now the issue about industrialization and all, like I was even trying to say, even started way back from Alan Chamate's era. You know, he is that kind of person.
Yeah.
So if you look at his great transformational plan, it speaks more of industrialization and he says he wants an enterprise economy and then all of that. But with the question you asked, if you look at all the three manifestos, there is something interesting about their manifestos. You look at the NDC manifesto, it says resetting Ghana, and then down there they call something I think the subscript under the resetting Ghana is jobs. It says jobs, accountability, and then prosperity. Then you look at the NPP, it says bold solutions for jobs and businesses. Then you look at Alan Martin too. He also talks about great transformational plans with the jobs and that. You also look at the 12 pillars too. It's also speaking of jobs, industrialization, and all. So then my own is, you see, we've gotten to a point where all the political parties and even independent candidates are realizing a particular problem. Ọmụ nyinaa ọmụ hu sɛ Ghana na yɛwɔ no, there is ɔhaw bi a ɛha yɛn nyinaa. And you realize also manifesto policies now, they are very similar. Until now we say, oh, we are media, we are family, we are family. Let's just say, into Asia or say, you na you won't say Ghana no, or how we ne higher jobs in the here an industrial economy, you here say, you here education, you here say, you see. Into me can say, if that is the case, you na you or how about, and we are all giving a similar solution now. Isn't it time, say, we come together as a nation and put up a national policy?
Okay.
I think it's time, say, we move away from these party manifestos. Let's put together a national policy. Let's say a 15-year development plan, a 20-year development plan, a 10-year development plan. Senabaya, regardless of whichever party is in power, you make sure that you follow that plan. Sanu Nagana, Yebeko Yinim, and will progress. If you look at these developed countries and all, they all have national policies. It is no single political party's idea. Yes, you bring your policy and manifesto, but it must be tailored in the interest of the national policy. So you say, oh, yeah, how on in the next 5 years now, I was say in the next 10 years now, this is where our problem should be. In the next 20 to 30 years now, we shouldn't have any problem. We should start progressing. That is where I think we've gotten to now. We need a national policy as a nation and not party manifestos. Because Omoba promise we in at the end of the day, no Omu to me. You can't send on the day, you can't send the seat. You do it in MPP 2012, 2016 can send Bibri by then. And this is some time back, so can send Bibri and also Omu to me. It's not as a jargons, sell unique selling propositions with that big names, big policies. And I had also do because there is no proper policy implementation. There is no national policy to ensure, say, from this place to this place, this is what we want to do. So I think they all have similar ideas. They all have cited a particular situation or a particular problem. But it's high time we come together as a nation, put up a national policy. Everyone would follow that policy. That is the only way I think we'll have this progress and growth before we can even land in development in the future. Because if you check Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, he put in place national policies. He gave 15 years to ensure that at the end of this particular year, this is where this country is. We've seen the evolution of the industrial area from Tema to North Industrial Area in Circle. We've seen all that he's done with Western region. We've seen a lot of things that he has implemented through his national policies. So I think it is time that we put up a national policy. And that is the only way we can be in a particular way that we would want. A sub-Saharan country that started independence with all that we had, aiding other African countries. Today, we can't even compare ourselves to some of these countries, all because we are trying to be too partisan. I think Sajju Mra, you'll say a Kayeti Boom, say Krobako. I put together a national policy. Na party be making sure say omo follow our policy no more yamana kusi.
Okay. Thank you very much. And let's move to the NPP manifesto. There is something there that's quite interesting that I want I want to know your view on that. So for the NPP administration, they brought the e-levy, that's the tax on mobile money and transactions. Yes, basically transactions. Now, Bawumie's manifesto stated that he will make sure that he will cancel the e-levy. What do you think about that statement? Do you think it's going to be a true statement, or you think it's a political talk for you?
Hello, yes. So with the issue of the e-levy and abolishment of taxes, it's quite interesting to know because looking at the present Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as the head of the economic management team, where it is believed that all taxes and everything rises from there, because he
Yeah, so we will get back to Mr. Ransford Dogbe. Yeah, I think it's technical problem. So we will get back to Mr. Ransford Dogbe. Yes, to know more about that. And before that, we were discussing about the three parties, yes, their manifestos so far, and we have learned a lot from Mr. Mr. Ransford Dogbe. Mr. Ransford Dogbe. I would like to say a very big thank you to McJadin International School. Yeah, McJadin International School, the school papa, school papa, McJadin International School, school papa, or crèche, kindergarten, primary, and JHS. Yeah, I'm a catch up say and check what the SHS ni university ba be kan ho nti McJady International School dey na to say school papa and McJady Natural Mineral Water and so there. Yeah, McJady Natural Mineral Water. It's your papa pa a wunya no baby a G say McJady Natural Mineral Water. And you can contact them on 0592 500 593 0592 500 593. I will be waiting for a short breather, then we will be back. Yeah, we will be back with more for you.
Orofo ise nsu adoso o dwaman so ba ko a awiame kamfo ediama e McJadin Natural Mineral Water. McJadin Natural Mineral Water e nsu kroji a obetimi de di dwuma e birthday party ase se office ahodo asori afi companies ahodo McJadin Natural Mineral Water e na me kamfo ediama o de tene se McJadin air distributors a mba betu nsu no akoton na nso nya mfaso e di agu botom na sem den se McJadin Natural Mineral Water e discount abra o banana no etituma from McJadin for 0538 461144 0205 225477. Admission McJadin International School asan bia kwanya education for free crèche, kindergarten, nursery, primary and junior high school. McJadin International School say o school basa efa education for or classroom efa education for baako aduno bambo honse McJadin International School after 20 years at the bambo honse agude naso ye wa church for ma ben e wa de kire ene education emu McJadin International School achiri kwan o kwafo krom opposite Okanta School Junction open church mu ene asembise bia 0592 500 593 0592 500 593. McJadin International School as a dream, believe and become.